When you think of a synthesizer, you'll usually be of the mindset that it's going to be making very electronic, very chirpy, blippish type sounds. And yes, there are many cases where this is very, very true, but not true with the Razor. It can take a little digging and a little finesse, but with the right filters and the right effects, you can create some patches that closely emulate real-world instruments and voices. Yep, you heard me right. The Razor is voice friendly, and you'd be surprised what you could use as a starting point to make a convincing voice. Most newcomers would actually think that the Formant Oscillator would be the way to start a convincing choir patch, simply from the name and the term, Formant being strongly associated with voice, and indeed you could start this way, but the result may not be what you had in mind. I'll enable the oscillator within my initialized starting point. You'll notice off the bat the Formant oscillator doesn't sound really that special, but with a little bit of modulation it can sound actually quite incredible. But before I show you, let's set up the voicing section for my choir patch with one tiny change. Because any choir out there is always polyphonic, I'll disengage the mono mode so that I'll be able to play chords with my choirs. I'll also lose the glide. Now, with the Formant oscillator set up as oscillator 1, I'll move the select knob around to 4. Values 4 through 11 on the Formant oscillator are the more phasey, peaky types of wave shapes. There are a total of 32 shapes within the Formant oscillator, all with different characteristics, making this an easy pick when you're feeling a need for inspiration outside of what the other oscillators provide. Something different, you know? Let's take a look at the Formant knob, which adjusts the Formant shift semitones of the wave shape. Notice how when I adjust this knob, a serious phasing occurs. Normally, this kind of phasing would be the result of filters or effects like phaser or comb filter on the Razor. Having this oscillator enabled is great because I can free up a filter or something else like for an actual low pass or high pass and allow the oscillator to do the phasing. As I like this concept, I'll go ahead and modulate the Formant knob with LFO1 in the 9 o'clock range in Hertz mode. I'll make the modulation strength -33, so it's actually going to take it down rather than going up, but it's still going to go both ways. Notice the smooth, phasey feel going on now. Sounds great, and this is just the oscillator. In the next video, we'll add our first filter and talk about vowels and throats. See you in the next video.